Alright, this is the drone noob here with a tip for you guys. Now this applies for sure to the Scarlett Mini Vet. It might actually apply to other drones that have GPS. I discovered a little problem yesterday. Okay, my drone's on the ground right now. Check out the elevation. Can you see that? And you know why it says that? It says I'm negative 1.6 meters. So in a return to home function, this is why the drone bounced really hard one time when it came down, because it thought it had 5 more feet to go. And this happens anytime you put your drone up on the bench to calibrate the compass or the gimbal. What happens is it starts acquiring the satellite signal and then bases its elevation, I think, either off the compass calibration or off the GPS satellites. See, right now on the bench it's saying I am negative 0.7 meters negative, and when you put it down to the ground it's going to go up to 1.5. So what happens when it goes to return to home function? It's coming down and it thinks it has 5 feet farther than it does, therefore it doesn't throttle down, and my drone bounced about 1.5 feet off. And I went to go fly it again yesterday and I happened to notice that I had a negative 0.15 meters on there. Oh yeah, and depending on where your camera's at, sometimes these things are obscured. If you point your camera to a really bright area, well, maybe it'll happen if we go outside. If the camera's pointing to a bright area on your FPV screen, the information on the right hand side, like right now, you see how you can't really see what your height is because it's obscured by the cloud in the background. So I didn't really notice it the first time, but I went to fly the other day and it's a good thing I didn't take off, because I looked and thought, negative 1.5 meters, what the hell? And it's because I calibrated on the bench, like everybody in the videos do when they're showing you anything about this drone. It's always on a workbench, and nobody's ever mentioned the fact that if you're putting it on the workbench, turning it on, it's acquiring a signal and calibrating. It's calibrating off that height right there. So then you go outside and put it over there and it thinks it has 5 more feet to go, and it bounced hard. And this isn't going to affect it when you're not in return to home. You know where the ground's at, you see with your eyes. But when this thing's coming home, it's basing its altitude off of that. And even now it's a negative number sitting on the bench where it started. So yeah, I guess you have to just take your drone to wherever you're going to fly it at before you even turn it on. Just think about this. If you're out in the open somewhere, you could be walking down a hill, right, to get to a flat, clear area. Well, if you turned your drone on the way because you're excited and you only got a few more feet to go, it just calculated its ground level at that elevation, and there you are walking down the hill. So this could screw some things up and cause some destruction to your drone, basically, especially if the elevation was even greater. Imagine if it thought there was 20 feet to go. It really wouldn't have been slowing down. So anyway, that's a heads up, especially for anybody that owns the Wingsland Scarlett Mini Vet. It definitely applies to this drone, as you can see. I don't know if other drones do that or not, but it's something to make sure you pay attention to, because right now it says I'm negative 1.4 meters high. Alright, that's my tip of the day.